Hi guys, welcome back to my page and thank you very much for liking and sharing and all the feedback. And also I would just like to say welcome to the new followers. Thank you for following my page and I hope together we can break the stigma around mental health. So in this two-part video, it's just to show you the facts and figures of the severity in mental health in firstly Black and African communities and also within the male communities. Did you know that those within the Black community living in the UK, they are more likely to suffer from mental health problems? Not only that, they are more likely to be admitted to hospital due to these mental health issues. They are also most likely to have poor outcome from treatment, and also they disengage from mainstream mental health services, which can lead to social exclusion and mental deterioration. African Caribbean people living in the UK do commonly have lower rates of mental disorders than any other ethnic group, but are more likely to be diagnosed with severe mental health issues. And not only that, they are more likely to be diagnosed with schizophrenia. However, these stats are based on the service use. So this just goes to show that although these stats may be low, there may be a bigger range of people suffering from mental health issues that we don't know of because they haven't gone to seek help. So in African Caribbean communities, people are more likely to enter the mental health services via courts, via police. This just goes to show when they've hit rock bottom, this is when they go and seek help. And they're not seeking help voluntarily, they are going to seek help through being forced to, being detained under the Mental Health Act, and because they don't know what to do, then they get labelled as violent and not fit for society because they've let themselves hit rock bottom and they've gone to lengths and done things to themselves or others which has led them for them to be detained. So what we want to do is catch this early and help those suffering to go volunteer themselves into the mental health services. People from African and Caribbean communities are more likely to be admitted to hospital for mental illnesses. This just goes again to show you that when they've hit rock bottom, this is when they are again detained and go into the services. Most problems do come from things such as stress, racism, unemployment, and all other things like that. People don't know how to cope and where to go. You don't necessarily have to go and seek help within the services, but talking to someone about it and letting that stress off before it gets too severe for yourself, but just talk to someone who you know and trust will be there for you. I understand that sometimes people may say, oh yeah, go and pray about it, let's just pray about it, but sometimes we actually need to actively help these people get and seek mental health and know how to cope with it and devise some coping mechanisms for the long run. So together, let's break the stigma and let us know that it's okay not to be okay. Thank you. Alright guys, thank you for watching part 1 of my facts and figures around mental health within the Black and African society. This is part 2 where I talk about facts and figures around mental health within the male community. Did you know that in 2015, male suicide rates were notably higher than females? Not only that, the suicide rates majority of them were men aged between 40 and 44. This just goes to show you that it's not necessarily the young people who suffer from mental illnesses, it's also the older generation. This may be due because of that, as we get older, men are meant to be the breadwinner and the stronger gender, and they're meant to be the head of the house, and they cannot be seen as weak. Not only that, females are more likely just to talk to a friend about how they're feeling, and their friend probably are there to help and support them. Than males, it's just lads talk. You cannot be talking about your feelings because you're weak. That we need to break the stigma around that, and just to show that any sex can talk about how they truly feel and can seek help within mental health. In 2016, there were 5,668 suicides were recorded in Great Britain, and a staggering 75% of those were males. Not only that, between 2003 and 2013, 18,220 people with mental health problems took their own life within the UK. Suicide is the most common cause of death for men between 20 and 49 within England and Wales. These stats are just heartbreaking to me. It just goes to show that people are willing to take their own lives rather than seeking help. This may just be due because they don't know where to go for help. They don't know what to do when they're feeling this way. They don't know the signs and symptoms of when they're feeling depressed or anxious. This just goes to show that we need, as a community, we need to help other people get help, and not only for ourselves, and not only that, but for ourselves, we need to know when is the right time to gain help. No problem is too small to seek help. As soon as we feel that bit of stress, that bit of